You know, you have seen my guru, Sri Radhika Mohan Maitro.
Yes.
He was one of the most handsome men ever seen. And as he sat down with his instrument to play, well, he looked like a prince to me.
Well, I can...
That appearance of my guru, together with his instrument, it all, irresistibly drew me towards him. And probably there was a child psychology of wanting to be a prince, whatever his backgrounds are.
Well, you are no less. Anyway, along with this, because not much is known about this instrument itself. As far as my knowledge goes, I practically know nothing. But I recall having seen a little seal ages back at Buddhdev, which had a seal. On that seal, the instrument that was, it didn't quite represent a sarod, neither did it represent a veena. But do you envisage any connection between that picture of the seal and the present day sarod?
That one looked like a sarod or its forerunner, all right. Probably it was a Rudrabeen or something.
Rudrabeen from Afghanistan.
There are quite a few versions about the origin of this instrument. The soundest one appears to me to be that it has evolved from the Afghan rabab, which was smaller in size. It had a wooden fingerboard and catguts for strings.
How was the camel's hump?
It was there, very much there. It was there, and that's actually what points out to this particular rabab, especially as the forerunner of the sarod. The later developments were also have an interesting history. The instrument traveled to India on horseback. Some equestrians, these riders or cavaliers from Afghanistan, they came to India and settled here. And they are the forerunners of the three big Sarodia families. Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan's ancestry, then Ustad Niyamatullah Fakul Khan's, and they settled around Rewa, Shahjahanpur, Bulandshahr and all these places. When they took Senia Talim, which was largely based on Veen Ank, large meads and other things, they turned back to their own instrument and found that it was wanting in meads.
Now, I forgot to ask you one very important question, because as far as my knowledge goes, whether you are a vocalist or an instrumentalist, even if you are an accompanist, one who indulges in playing percussion instruments, they always start with vocal music. Did you have a lesson in vocal music also?
I didn't have any regular lessons excepting a couple of K.L. Seigel's discs.
I see. We used to have them. They're popular in those days.
Yes.
Now tell me, as far as my knowledge goes, I know that you are a disciple of Sri Radhika Mohan Maitro. But then, I wouldn't know whether you would agree with me, but I do personally. There are all of us, many of us, who have had good talim from ustads, many of the artists that I meet, and they claim to adhere to their own respective gharanas. But I find that one always gets involved and indirectly influenced by other artists also. Has it happened to you also?
Whatever is said to the contrary, you will find that eventually there has been intermingling of ideas and gharanas right through. You can't find out a single musician who has eventually stuck to his
only adhere to his own.
Certainly not. Neither have I. It is true that I have learned sarod from only one man, Radhika Mohan Maitro. But I have unconsciously imbibed quite a few ideas or methods from vocalists like, eminent vocalists like Ustad Fayaz Khan, Ustad Amir Khan, vocalist Amir Khan, and Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, most of all.
I see.
And besides that, I have also taken quite a few sketches of talims or bandishes from my guru's close associates, Pandit D.T. Joshi, Sri Gyan Prakash Ghosh, Dr. M.R. Gautam, the canons, the list is endless. In fact, any musician in India from whom I have learnt anything, I give him a guru's respect. And coming to that, why should I leave you out?
Well, you are very generous.
No, can you deny that you have taught me so many things?
You see, not many artists are this generous. Anyway, I think that has helped you to be what you are today. Now, can you help me in explaining? I know it's a difficult question, but if I were to ask you, what would you say were the peculiar characteristics of your playing or your gharana? Since you have also imbibed influences of other gharanas, and thereby you have enriched your style. So you can surely point out by playing.
That's the most difficult part.
Yeah.
For a man to describe himself just as much as to caricature himself. You can caricature all others, but not yourself. Neither can you really describe yourself. It's the job of other people who really watch you. But I shall try to enumerate in my humble way the specialities of my gharana. As I have told you, they were descended from Rababis.
Yes.
My gharana actually starts from the legendary figure Ustad Murad Ali Khan, an Ang.
Yes.
Murad
Do you
Ali
have
Khan.
any pictures of
Unfortunately, I don't
or
have.
any of the gurus?
My guru, Radhika Mohan Mitra, his picture is available.
Well, let's have a look at it then. And
his guru was Ustad Muhammad Amir Khan.
do you have a picture of that?
I have a picture of him. Acha, coming back farther from Amir Khan, Ustad Murad Ali Khan Sahib, at one stage, he had some sort of a feud with the rest of his family and he settled elsewhere. He went to Darbhanga.
Yeah.
He was childless. He picked up an orphan from Shah Jahanpur, from a musical family.
That's very interesting.
That boy was named Ustad Abdullah Khan. He didn't become a Ustad right away, but later on he was Ustad Abdullah Khan. He was Amir Khan's father. Now this gharana, as I have already told you, specializes in Rabab Ang playing.
Now, would you demonstrate it? Because otherwise we'll get lost in conversation, one by one.
Let us start with the bowl of Sarod.
Right?
Sarod vocabulary is based on only two types of sound that this plectrum can give you. One is Da and the other is Ra. But with these two alphabets, we have been able to conjure up, hundreds of different kinds of bowls or words. Diri diri. Da 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 diri diri da diri diri da 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 da. And I did not, lengthen the. This is only different placements of da and ra in various forms. Since, as I have already said, Rabab did not have much mead, they specialized on the right-hand side, the plectrum work.
Yeah.
But Saniya Talim has also come into our gharana. It is a synthesis of both gharanas. Our Alap and Vilambit playing Vistar is all based on Saniya playing.
How about demonstrating a little? And choosing a rag which you are fond of.
miss. It's Maluha Kedan, my favorite rag.
Yeah. Who did you learn this from? From Ustad.
And
Would you like to play something of Amir Khan?
yes, I would. Before that, let me complete this part of the job, telling about my Gharana specialties. Apart from Alap and Vilambit Distar, when you come to Tans, they specialized in profusion of bowls and bowl applications. Not merely that, placement of the bowls in all odd positions with regard to matras. In my, when I play, I will try to demonstrate it later on. Now,
I'm sorry, but I must intervene and you must do this right now so that you make your point.
I'm skipping the distar portion.
Yeah.
And there are really, there's an endless variety of this sort of tans.
Yeah.
They probably imbibe something from the vocalists also. One section of our playing, one part of our tar work closely resembles the movements of your bowl tans in Agra Gharana. I don't want to say that it has been directly, copied, but
Yeah.
somehow or other it occurred to our masters also. Which one can we take up? Which is something common to you?
If we want for YouTube. Are you playing Banabari Morina?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't because of the difference in taste.
At least within the range.
That was my scale.
Just come up to Madham. Now,
Yes, it's very much like the Boltans that we do. Yes, it is. Where is it?
does it have the spirit of your Gupta?
It has. What have you not covered yet? How about the
Apart
speed?
from this, my Guru Radhika Mohan Mitra, he specialized in a few other forms of tan called Ekhara tans, which is derived from the sitar. After all, Ekhara tans are not Sarod's own territory.
But let me ask you a question here. Do you think that the ragas of both sitar and sarod are intrinsically different?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Actually, the instrumental disadvantage is there in the case of every instrument,
Because there's no
which
fret here.
precludes you from fluently playing certain ragas. For instance, Madhua That Purvi Tat, Tori Tat ragas are comparatively more difficult in Sarod, but nothing is difficult if you have really had that sort of a grinding riyaz.
May I now request you to play certain compositions
of my gharana.
Of your gharana, and which is peculiar to you? I mean, the structure of the composition before I ask you for a full display or for at least some part of the performance.
I don't know whether I have been able to cover the entire description of the performance of my gharana, but let us at any rate move out to compositions. This gharana specialized in a particular type of composition in Madhyalay known as Firoz Khani Gat. The speciality was that it was a longish gat and covered 2 or at least 3 cycles of the tal in which it was played.
I see, avartan as they say in Hindi.
And there were very smart jumps sometimes from one octave to another, and practically the entire compass of the rag was depicted very thoroughly. Nothing was left unexplored. And naturally enough, in some cases, there were no separate existence of asthaya and antara in some of these gats. Bhai Sanjay, let's start Tintal. Rag is Chaya. Compositions in which the same odd placement of bowls and out of the way structures are very prominent. In fact, most of the guts in our gharana, they have no stereotype. Each one is strikingly different from the other. Let us have this sample of Nat Mallar or Gaur Mallar, whatever you call it, because it's ambiguous to both ragas and places.
Nat Mallar is right.
Particularly want to point out is that
is this from your gharana? Is this from your gharana?
Yes. The structure and the placement of the various parts of the gut with regard to lay, we are usually used to or something like that.
Yes.
Look at this again, how it begins and how it ends. Then there is a rag which Amir Khan Sahib used to play very much, quite a few compositions. It was made by transferring khambaj onto the, on madham as sa. Sahib was a prolific composer in Kafi.
But with due apologies, of course you have learned profusely from great masters. But how about playing for us some of your own compositions? You must.
I will do that, but permit me, I can't, miss this opportunity of playing one or two other compositions. How much time do we have?
We have plenty.
Right. Then I'm playing one or two, just the mukras. Amir Khan Sahib's Kafi Ghar, because he was a prolific composer in Kafi, and he had the peculiar habit of picking out a very out-of-the-way phrase, not the very frequently used phrase of a rag. Start from that phrase and then unfold the rest of the rag later on, in the later part of the ghar.
Like
This one. Of his, profusion of bold work. Now we move to.
I wanted to listen to
some of my compositions before we come to.
Just the structure of it.
Would you permit me to play one or two of Amir Khan Sahib's compositions, just in order to accentuate or demonstrate my Gharana specialty? Well. We pick out a gat in Bahar. It is composed of small phrases, each one repeated exactly twice. But sure enough, the first phrase lands in one part of the tal. The second phrase lands up at an odd position with regard to the matras. Naturally enough, that this is bound to happen. But there has been nothing added excepting exact repetition of two phrases. I will try to analyze. With this it is composed.
Yeah.
absolutely akin to each other.
I'm afraid I'll only give you 2 minutes for that.
Right. No more.
Right. I've got other questions to ask.
In Zilla, they are sounding exactly similar. The one which gives you the impression of being set to Tental is set to Arachautal,
Nice.
and the one which sounds set to very odd matras is actually a Tental Gat.
Sanjay was has been having a very easy time so far. Now let's ask him to
Acha,
see.
Now for the Tental. Now ask your questions.
Of course, the last one was, of course, about your own playing. But you certainly have exploded the myth. The myth that one can't have two careers. You have not only showed us excellent examples of this, but as I said, which can't be viewed on the television, that you know that you are a very, very competent engineer. But to go back to our question, I will now finally request you for performance, whatever you can within the limited period that you have, of any rag that you choose you would like to play for this evening. Right?
Maluha Kedan, which I recorded in 1956.
अभी आप कलकत्ता दूरदर्शन द्वारा तैयार किया गया ये कार्यक्रम देख रहे थे और अब इससे पहले कि हम आपसे इजाज़त लें, आपको कल सुबह और कल शाम के कार्यक्रमों के बारे में बता दें।